What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Everton 0, Tottenham 0, and Antonio Conte's first game in charge in a Premier League game. No shots on target, so we're very familiar to seeing that, aren't we?
What's changed? Nothing new. But I've been away a week. You sure Nuno's not still in charge? I feel like he might be. But look, it was a pretty low quality game from both sides. I think defensively we're pretty solid throughout. A bit lucky with the penalty going our way from VAR. Fingertips from Lloris. Saving that situation, but overall it was just a game where you clearly see Conte has a lot of work to do with this squad.
Yeah, clearly. How do you assess it, Danny?
Yeah, I think the same way. I think the only thing you can say is during that game, you saw spells of football that we hadn't seen under Nuno, like little pass and move, one-touch
little
football,
patterns of play,
which is a promising thing. But like Sim said, there's a lot of work to do with that team, especially with the players. We know there's personnel in that team that will probably end up leaving, shouldn't be there, been there too long, and it's just him trying to find out who he can trust and that kind of stuff.
Well, you see today immediately the problems there. Left back, Reguilon's having a stinker, and what's his only option is put Matt Doherty on there, and then Matt Doherty got in a lot of promising positions, but he always had to keep cutting back on his right foot, and he just wasn't able to make the most of the positions he was getting. And if we had Sessegnon or someone who can play in that position, we'd have seen maybe a different impact from someone.
Yeah, I mean, definitely remains to be seen with Sessegnon, but I think we probably need to dip into the transfer market in terms of adding quality to this squad. That's for sure.
In terms someone who can play there, I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's also not just that. I think there's the creativity again in the midfield. There's that lack of that creative spark. Someone who's going to. I know they saw it today a little bit more from Mora, and when Lascelles came on, it was pretty decent. But you still need more of it. And there was a lot of. I think the whole team as a whole, a lot in the final third today. Their just decision making was off. They're misplacing their passes in the crucial moments. They were getting it wrong, and I think that's because they just weren't sure what to do. They were nervous. Or
in terms of individual displays, and in terms of the way we set up with Højbjerg and Skip in the middle, do you think that's the right way to go? Do you think that's our only option? I mean, what do you think with Højbjerg and Skip? Because it's just a lack of creativity in there from them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think having them together. We were discussing this earlier on. I think having them together, I think it's just. It gives us more stability, like defensively. And as you see today, we didn't concede a goal. We were pretty solid defensively, but it does. I think it affects the sort of impetus going forward. And I think you do need someone else creative. I think you really, in a contest system, I think that what we're going to find out is he's only going to play one of them. Sort of type of players, really. I would
hope you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? You'd like to think so. But in terms of those two players, I did think Skip grew into the game. I thought he had a fairly good game in terms of being solid in the middle of the park. Other good performers. I thought Emerson played well today again. The defence was good today. Davis, Dyer, and Romero, all three of them. I
might even say Davis was our best player. Honestly, I can't remember too many players.
He was decent defensively. He was good defensively, but again, he was one of the ones who. When he was in offensive positions, or even when he was at the back, you could see his passing was misplaced, and it's sometimes causing little issues, not big problems, but it did cause a few issues. I think even when you said Skip grew into the game, I think out of all the midfielders, he was the one trying to look to sort of play the ball forward.
He was,
towards the last sort of 20 minutes of the game or so.
And there was a moment in there, the last 10 minutes, when he was pressuring Emerson to get forward, and get forward, and that's what we like to see, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, look, the players are learning a new system. The three at the back is now going to be our predominant system that we've played. And yes, we've played it before under Mourinho and whatnot, but it's never been our
formation. Under Poch as well, we played it for a certain time.
Yeah, but it's never been our main formation. Even under Poch, we played it, I remember, for a time in that season. But ironically against Conte's Chelsea, and obviously we were brilliant when we beat Chelsea 2-0. But that as the season went on, we moved back to the back four because that was where we felt most comfortable. So these players are definitely learning a new system. It's going to take time, but I think there is flashes of what we can do in terms of the quick passing and moving, getting the ball very, very quickly up the pitch and opening up Everton and creating opportunities. Even in this game, I've seen how we're able to use the fullbacks in the wing backs, in attacking situations very effectively. A couple times where Reguilon was found and Emerson were both found free at the back post where they probably should have done better with the opportunities presented themselves, and that is the hallmark of a Conte team, how we use those wing backs. So look, he's only been in charge for under a week. He's only been in charge very
probably about 2 training sessions, if that, on the training field.
So I was never expecting a revolutionary change straight away. But it's impressive, at least, that I've seen a few things implemented immediately, and I can see that. Unfortunately, today, no shot on target again, which is a big disappointment. Obviously, there are a few things with the selection where, I think in a back three, the need for both Højbjerg and Skip is probably lessened, seeing as we've got another defender in there. In the 4-2-3-1, it makes more sense because you need more of that still, because you'll get pressure on the back four. But in that, I think you probably need one with Lo Celso and Ndombele just to add that bit more of the quality on the ball in the middle of the park when we're moving the ball forward. But what I would say is today, compared to under Nuno, is when I've said under Nuno is the more possession we had, the worse we looked. I think the problem we had today was we looked good in possession. We didn't have enough of the possession.
And I think that's a good sign. That's a good sign that we are looking good in possession. I mean, there were times today where, like you said before, Danny, the patterns of play, the one-touch passing, the passing and moves were there, and it looked really good on the eye. That's for sure. But the problem for me today was in the final third. At the end of the day, I think Kane, Son, and Lucas pretty much didn't. All three of them didn't show up today.
I just think, that, and we also dropped a bit too deep at times, especially when Everton pressing us forward. All men were very, very deep in our compact in our own defensive third, which made us solid, but also meant it was very difficult at times to break out, and it was easy to pen us in at times. And that's definitely a problem Conte is going to have to figure out, preventing us from getting penned in those situations. Because yes, you want to be compact, but you also want to be a threat on the counter. You want to give them something to think about. Otherwise, it's too easy for them to just.
I think we were though today. I think we were a threat on the counter today.
We were more. I would say it diminished quite significantly in the second half, up until the last few minutes when obviously Lo Celso hit the post. I think there was a period, a half an hour period in the second half where Everton, they didn't create, but they had the penalty and they were really on top of us, and we struggled to really
come out,
get into their half for a time. And that's something. But look, it's going to take time. We know that Rome wasn't built in a day, and we know Conte is a fantastic coach, and I'm already seeing things already which is going in a positive direction. But I think the quality of the squad might hold us back a bit. You've already seen that today, and I just think time on the training pitch is going to be at a premium.
Man of the match.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm not sure.
Who'd you go for?
Maybe Skip.
Skip, I was thinking Skip
Maybe
as well.
Skip.
I think
He played really well, Skip.
I think Skip. I think you've got to say Skip.
I'm going to give it Davis.
I'm
going to give it Davis. I'm going to give him my manager. I thought defensively he was brilliant. I thought he was underlapping for regular, helping out regular on a few times really well. I was really impressed with that. And I thought just defensively he was really covering the situations impressively. And I thought he was actually on the ball. He was pretty composed and his passing was okay. So I'm going to give it Davis.
All right, two marks for Skip, one for Davis. Let me know in the comment section below who your man of the match
Skip's
was.
going to be missing next game now.
And Skip, he is suspended for the next game.
So maybe he could force
Leeds.
Conte's hand in terms of.
Well, it's going to have to, isn't it? It's going to have to. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's going to be interesting to see the next starting lineup when we play Leeds in a couple of weeks. It is international break now, so we sign off with a 0-0 draw. Our first draw of the season, actually, which is interesting
breaking
enough.
records already.
So
clean sheet, but look, clean sheet is important, especially after we're getting beaten 3-0, and also the 3-2 in midweek.
Has Romero had a clean sheet yet with us?
Don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, that is our instant match reaction. Tottenham have drawn 0-0 in Antonio Conte's opening Premier League game. It is international break, so no Spurs for 2 weeks now. It was unfortunate because under Nuno we were much looking forward to the international breaks, and now we don't really want it to come. But it is the last one for a while, so I guess that's a positive thing. But yeah, look, like I said, I think that it wasn't good enough today, but we did see signs of improvement. So I guess that's the main thing. We need to give trust to Nuno, we need to give him time, and we need to let him have that time to Conte, and we need to let him have that time to progress the team. And I think we've already seen a few signs, but obviously it's not enough, but he hasn't had the time. So let's calm down and let's see what happens this season, because I think things are pointing to positive things. So let's hope that continues. But that is it. That is our instant match reaction. Let me know what your thoughts were on the game in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.